Okay. Thanks.
So you're still sleeping on it.
Yeah, so 11.
Welcome this evening to the town board meeting of November 20th for our work session. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Board members, in the absence of Supervisor Winchell, who reported he could not be here due to a personal matter, and the absence of the deputy supervisor, would someone care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that Councilwoman Voss chair the meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilwoman Voss, for the record, will preside over this evening's work session.
Thank you. So our first course of business tonight is Audit 11 of 2019. Cheryl, could you give us some figures?
Yes.
I apologize, but I don't have them. So.
No, that's okay. First though, because it's all accounting, Tara has reviewed her expenses and she's requesting a transfer from her 100 line to her 400 line to meet her needs through the end of the year. So
If you could just describe what those lines are, please.
She's moving it from her personnel line to her expense line. 1410.
And the amount is what?
$5,000.
I guess I have a question, because last month when we did the audit, we had budget transfers, but we only transferred enough to cover that audit and we zeroed everything out. So how can we approve this audit if we don't have more budget transfers?
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I was told that to wait to do them all in December.
Okay, so we're gonna approve
Well, Tara has funds to move from personnel.
Well, I understand that. I understand there's funds to move, but we're basically gonna be paying bills out of funds that have no money in them. Is that a correct statement?
There are negatives, yes, there are.
Well, it's permissible to transfer between funds.
But we have zero.
I'm not talking about the audit, I'm just talking about Tara's
Right,
request.
talking about the rest of the audit.
No, I'm
Okay,
just,
so let's just
Tara's.
handle
Are there any-
Terry's first.
Okay, so we'll make a motion to transfer Tara's $5,000 from 100 line to 400 line, which is personnel to expense.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
that. Aye.
All opposed? So moved. So now can we move to audit 11 of 2018? Cheryl, can we get the totals? Or, I don't know.
Well, I
if we're
guess
gonna know what
my
lines,
question
so-
is, I didn't happen to get the report. How many of these are in, I mean, if we took the budget transfers from last month, I would imagine, since we only went to zero to cover those ones, that all these are over again.
Well, that's a question. Are there negative balances?
Yes, there are. And I was told that I was not to do them until December.
Okay, but do we have the total of the short?
Can I have the abstract total? And give me what's short.
I will make a copy for everybody. Just give me one moment.
resolutions.
Okay, so while Cheryl gets that, let's move to the resolution, let's move to the 2020 budget, because we have to do a resolution this evening to accept that budget. Everybody has the. Okay, so everybody got the final copy with all the changes we made Monday night? Anything else that we need to change?
Well, I guess just the only thing is, I think the board discussed Monday night that in the retirement fund, in the B fund, that we were going to drop it by 70,000, but this budget reflects 100,000, and I think it's okay. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but that's not what we agreed to. But we also got the numbers. Cheryl got the numbers for this year, and it looks like it would work, so just want to reflect that.
Is everybody in agreement with that?
I
I'm
agree
okay
with that, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so do we wanna move forward to adopt?
Yes.
So resolve that pursuant to the town law section 109, the preliminary budget as changed, altered, and revised is hereby adopted as the annual budget of the town of Montgomery for the fiscal year beginning on January 1, 2020, inclusive of the individual fund levies and allocations as annexed hereto, and that the same shall be entered in the minutes of the town board. So can I get a motion to accept the preliminary budget as our final budget
Hold
for
on, Mark,
2020?
did you tell them?
Yes.
Yes.
I was out of the room?
We're okay
Thank
with
you.
I'll make that motion.
Preliminary budget has amended.
Preliminary budget as amended.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Aye. All opposed? So moved. Do we need to do a roll call for this, or are we okay with just the budget?
Well, we can do
I
a
mean,
roll.
just
You did it already, but just for record-keeping purposes, we have,
I made the motion.
yes, you made the motion.
Sounds bottom.
I seconded it.
Yep, I got you. And Mr. Winchell is absent. Mr. Dempsey voted aye, Mr. Hoyt voted aye, Ms. Melick voted aye, Ms. Watts voted aye. Budget is adopted as amended, 401 as of this date, which does comply with the deadlines of New York State town law. Good to go.
Okay. So do we want to back up to audit 11 now that Cheryl's back? Cheryl, you ready with our figures?
Okay. A fund, do you wanna know each one? I can read them all off. Or should I just give you a total of each?
Well, I would like, you might as well read them off, because I would be curious to see if there's any new ones besides the ones from last month.
Okay.
We got
A, 1010-0400 town board expenses is short $1,026.78. A, 1220-0100 supervisor payroll, $302.44. A,
$302.44.
yes,
That was it, huh? Last month, it was $4,700 off.
It's only 1 month.
A, 1220-0400 supervisor's expense, $693.50.
Sure.
Yes, these are all
These are all
short.
short.
This is, what was that, 1220-0400?
I can make copies and give them all to you. It's, hold on, let me go back. Third one down, $693.50.
But was that 0400-0034, or?
No, that's the next one.
Can we just have her go make a copy so we all have a copy right now? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, let's go.
Do the other resolutions.
Okay. So I Cheryl's
Thank you,
making copies. Can we move to item C? We have to do a resolution to re-levy the water and sewer. So Kara, I have to say, the County of Orange to re-levy the unpaid water and sewer taxes with the following tax map numbers.
And there's a sheet that you all got, the total amount is,
$7,122.76.
That's just for the
Do I
town
need
of
each one
Montgomery.
of these?
yeah, Town of Newburgh didn't have any this year.
Huh.
Yep.
Is this a
First time since
Or I
I.
gotta read
That's-
each one?
If you wanna read the totals of each one, this is High Meadows total.
High Meadows is 246.76, highway and TS2,
Town sewer.
town sewer is $80. Heidman Heights is 1,448.44, sewer 2 is 4,466.57, water and sewer 1 is 456.45, and water 1 is 424.54. So can we get a motion to re-levy water and sewer?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved.
The resolution directs the clerk to send that to the county, right?
Yes, Stephanie checked this resolution.
And then while we're waiting for Cheryl, we have a resolution to accept the emergency radio communication systems from the county. And I just read the resolve on this too, or?
Yep. This is, there's two, there's the resolve and the further resolve, and this is the project that the county is providing the town with radio equipment of value of $99,000 pursuant to the Orange County Cornet system. And it will be the town's equipment, and the town will be responsible for maintaining it pursuant to this agreement. So, yes, you want to make a motion, and second it if there's any discussion.
Okay, can we have a motion to upgrade the current public safety emergency radio communication system with a countywide Project 25?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
You want to read the resolves?
Resolved that the town board of the town of Montgomery hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute a certain public safety emergency radio communication system and operable agreement with the county of Orange, along with any other appropriate documents to effectuate the intent of this resolution, all of which shall be subject to review and approved by the town attorney. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Montgomery hereby directs the town supervisor to accept the equipment listed in Schedule 2A of the aforementioned agreement, which list of equipment shall be incorporated herein by reference.
If I may, considering the situation, I would move to change the two resolves to say authorizes the town supervisor or appropriate town official. Someone wants to make that
I'll make
that
that.
motion. I'll second it.
in both resolves.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? So moved. So that was to make the change then, we need to approve the resolution, so I think I already have a first and a second on the
A
resolution.
motion and a second, and we'll just call the roll.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved. Okay, so can we come back again to the audit? Cheryl, did you have copies for everybody?
Yes.
Did I just please, did I just?
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So Mark, you wanted me to just review these, or?
Well, it's, I guess, I mean, obviously, it's the first time I'm seeing this. So if I look at this correctly, we're over by 75,627 in the A fund. And that counts the 50, that counts the 30, that does not count the 35,000 from last month?
No.
We transferred last month.
Right, but so in other words, we've done, right, so we've done $100,000 worth of transfers.
110.
That building expense for 54,000, was that out of that building fund that we had for this building, or no?
Where are you looking at the capital fund one?
I'm looking,
The one at 1620 0400.
Oh, all right, no, okay.
it's part part of that
Minus
75,000.
54,000.
So the transfers are going to come from where?
They will come from the fund balance as budgeted.
Well, the fund balance was in the budget to cover
Right.
the expenses as the budget was budgeted, so when you go over, it's.
You have to do a journal entry, budget adjustment to move the fund balance into the.
So it's,
You don't start the year with that fund balance in the budget. You,
I
as,
understand.
you remember Nugent Hauser said that it's there in case you need it.
I understand.
So and then the
CD,
B,
and your CD fund, the police department has put in the grant request for the refund on that. We had to purchase it, and then they're giving us back the 75,000. Now, all that paperwork has been done. So we're just waiting for the.
on the
funds to
building
come back.
expense line? is it?
No, CD line, community development line, CD.
But at the end of the day, as of right now, and these, so we'll just talk about the A fund right now. This 75,627 plus the 35,000 last month. Does that give us enough to cover us for the end of the year, or is this bringing us to zero again?
This
Just for this
will
one
bring you to zero again.
Bringing us to zero
So
again,
you
so we
still
still
have
have
December.
2 more months.
No, you have December. right?
No, because this
Yeah,
audit,
yeah.
this audit is, November's audit is October's bills.
So this is good through 10/31.
I've got a question on that, in the B fund, the 7610-0400, the program for the aging. We're gonna give them 15,000 this month.
She was saying Monday night, the check was in this order.
We signed a voucher,
For next year.
that was in the vouchers, that's in that pile of
That was
vouchers.
the increase next year, wasn't it?
No, it was just to bring it back.
No, that was on the budget.
This is this year's payment, that was budgeting for next year's
It
payment.
brought,
That's what I'm saying.
it brought the
But
budget.
we got it on here, it's 15,000 that we're gonna give them this month.
Right, they did not send the
Get it.
bill in and get paid until after the books were closed for 2019. Or 2018. They sent the bill in for 2018 after we had closed 2018's payments. So it's a
We
year
originally,
ago.
we originally agreed to 26,000 for this year, and we've already,
For next
Given them-
year,
Next year.
that's for 2020, what we did Monday
I'm
night.
looking at this.
No, Dan, it was, the adjusted budget was for this year, 27,555.
Right.
It went over by 15,000 because they actually ended up with 2 payments this year.
Because remember in 18, if you went back and looked at 18, I kept asking that question, how come it's
It
only
wasn't in the
7,500
actuals
bucks?
for 18.
The check never got cut in 18.
Alright.
Correct.
I see that.
Okay, can I ask, it's 54,000, didn't we have $600,000 in like a capital fund? for
Yeah,
this
no, I
building?
think that goes to the next page, the H fund. That's got me a
That
little
will-
bit disturbed also.
Well, that'll be whenever you decide to do a bond or a ban.
But we spent money that was in the capital reserve fund and we are over by
No, this has nothing to do with reserve.
Pardon?
This has nothing to do with your reserve.
The capital fund, the building fund. There was,
This stays a negative.
HOO0400 is the capital fund.
Yes,
So that was
and you've spent 838,000, that was the roof.
I understand that, but so that's saying, what is the balance left in that now?
This will come off, well, there's no fund balance, you either have to pay it back or you borrow the money to pay it off.
But there
Counselor
was,
said you were going to be, now that you're done with your major projects or whatever, that this should.
yeah, but there was a big balance in
There
there.
was over 600,000 in
They
there.
will write off that at the end of the year with the fund balance.
Well, if there was 600,000 in there, it should only be 200.
Right, and I think there was more than six.
There was nothing budgeted in the capital fund there.
No, because the capital fund is the capital fund.
Right, so any bills that come in are going to show negative, because there's no budget line for it.
So what is left in that fund? We started, I mean, I didn't know we were gonna be doing all this, so I didn't bring all the, you know, the audit report and all that stuff to show what was in there. This isn't, my memory is, it's not making sense to me, is all I'm saying.
Well, you had over 600,000 this year for the roof.
We understand, but my recollection was that there was enough money in that fund to cover all that stuff. And now we have a negative balance, is that a correct statement? Is this document showing right here that we have an 800?
Yes, but it shows a negative balance because there was not an actual budgeted number for capital.
So when does was a transfer made at any point?
No,
Do you want the audit report from last year, Mark?
I won't be able to see it.
It turns, it goes wider.
It can make it bigger, but
Let
Right
me
here,
ask
my
a-
friend.
Let me ask a question, because I think we have way more
I know.
questions than answers here. If we don't do this audit today and we do it at the first meeting, what does that do?
Well, I think the people have to get paid. I think it's just that, you know, I think there's a concern of paying money out of funds that don't have any money in them.
Agreed.
What's the total shortfall to pay the bills?
Well, in the A fund, it's 75,000. And in the B fund,
Here, I
it's
have an extra
56,000. And this is 76,000. And that doesn't even, like, that will cover this audit.
right.
Still got 2 months left, 2 months to go.
I think I'm looking for a suggestion. Do we approve the bills and get this money transferred?
Well, you don't know where you're gonna transfer the money from?
Well, I have to sit down and work it all out. I told you, I was told it was not going on the agenda, I was not to do it.
Well, somebody made up an agenda and put it on there, I guess.
Well, we have to pay the bills
Not the
today.
transfer.
Not, no,
Not
not,
the
not,
Transfer, no, the
transfer.
audit's
so
on
we're
there.
paying bills that we don't know where the money's coming from,
Right.
if we approve the audit.
What's the total of this audit? 1 million.
I haven't read it. $1,133,095.30.
And what is the shortage for all 3 funds, or all funds? Is it the,
It's the 75.6,
Adam, she
56.4.
doesn't.
oh, there's no
No grant.
line for that?
Total on the last page.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
but you
page.
have to subtract out
But
the.
that 800,000 is in that figure, so it makes it a rather large figure.
Yeah.
Do I have your copy?
$1,094.
I started to work on it.
When's the next meeting, December?
First Thursday in December.
Which is a couple weeks,
The 5th, right?
couple weeks.
I don't know, it'd be late in there.
About 190,000.
Through 10/31.
Yes, and as of,
Sorry, what was that number again? 180 what?
it was just a rounded number,
And what's the?
So 190.
rounded number 190. because that removes the H fund and the CD fund. Now, on 1028, never mind, I was thinking something else.
What was the intention from where to transfer?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah, that's where's it
That's
gonna
what I'm
come from?
asking.
Carol, have you worked that
Next
out yet?
question.
No,
Okay. Then perhaps,
I think that has to be worked out, even if we have a special meeting.
perhaps
We have no
a
choice.
special meeting is in order for the beginning of next week.
Until
Tuesday,
you find out where the money's coming from.
Tuesday appointment.
Tuesday at Portland, or?
Yes, Tuesday and Wednesday are
What
court
time
nights,
is
but they're
court?
downstairs.
But we have to notice this, right?
Well, today
It's just
is
special.
Wednesday, notice a special meeting, do it next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday is, November 26th.
Is everyone in favor of, so we
What time?
don't do the audit tonight? and
No,
do it
how
next
can we
Tuesday?
pay a bill where she can't say where she's even gonna get the money from?
I agree, I just want to know everybody's in the same agreement.
Well, and I think we also have to try to, figure out the projection of what our bills are gonna be till the end of the year and do one budget transfer.
Instead of every month.
And then we will, we're gonna have a handle on what the heck is going on here. I mean, these are some serious numbers we're getting into now.
Not to mention the fund balance we use next year.
Well, like we were saying, you can't spend all this money and not raise taxes.
Okay, so.
Here it is.
I mean, I have a couple other questions about the audit too that possibly we can get some answers from, because I don't think that we're gonna get them tonight.
So maybe you can email them to Cheryl tomorrow so she can.
Well,
Well,
I
what
mean,
are the
just have
questions?
them now.
the question is, in a bill that I will never approve anyway, the voucher for Marlin Bank. We are getting charged $46.89 a month for that, for insurance. And I know it's a lease thing, and when I get leases on like my shop equipment, whether it be a lift or a tire changer, all you have to do is show the insurance company, get a thing from the insurance and show it to this lease company. And they shouldn't be charging us $48 a month for insurance. We have our own
I
insurance.
had a conversation with Pete about that and agreed with you.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it many times. I always get my first lease bill and there's always an insurance bill. I call my insurance company, give them a thing that this is covered. And, I mean, so we've been paying on this for almost a year now, $50 a month for insurance that, we have our own insurance.
We still,
I can have Pete get a certificate that
Yeah.
can send to them.
To them,
and
to
we
Marlin
still,
Bank,
and we
which
still
we
are,
still
we're
wanna
still
work.
working on that
on
contract
something with
with
that.
council.
My second question is the tracking, company that, in Pine Bush, that was another, thing that was not board approved, and I do believe it was before you got here. And it was questioned and nothing was ever done about it. And I don't believe any of those tracking equipments are on any vehicles as far as I know. Because I've asked different departments and they've never been put on vehicles. So we're paying $1,400 a month to a tracking company that we don't even have, I don't know what they're tracking.
And it was never approved by this board.
And it was never approved by this board. So something's gotta be done about that too. We have to get out of that, out of the contract somehow. Cause our vehicles that we buy now are tracked, correct?
The
In,
police vehicles.
yeah,
The only tracker that we have on a vehicle is the animal control vehicle, that did not have one. That
Okay.
has one of the trackers from this company.
well,
that
there's
we
supposed to
installed.
be like 28 tracking
But we're
devices
only,
out.
we're only issued one, I don't know where the other one.
The
is.
hi- well,
They're not any, they're not
They're
any.
not on the highway vehicles.
We have ours in the animal control.
I mean, so we've been being charged for this before you even came here, $1,400 and something a month, and we're tracking basically nothing.
I think Dial-A-Bus has
And,
dial bus, water sewer.
So we gotta get down and get, you know, like, if the board wants to
If they
approve
want
tracking
to
any
do
of
it,
those
then the highway
vehicles.
department needs to get them on the vehicles.
And maybe you can look at this contract and see, like, how long did he sign this contract for? You know,
Can
that we never
Give me a
approved.
copy of that?
Can we return some of them if we don't need
Yeah,
them?
or can we get out of it? I mean, You know.
That would be,
What is the name of the tracking company?
it's actually voucher number 192234. It's in Pine Bush, I don't know what the name of it is.
But who you sending the check to, who's the claimant? You don't have it.
I don't have it in
Oh,
front of me,
okay.
it's in the voucher,
Okay.
which is probably a prepaid bill.
All right, so if we're gonna, set a special meeting for 11/26.
Something else?
One more thing.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said two.
I see.
Apologize.
I see, voucher number 192324. Bipin Gandhi is charging us the $40,000 to, you know, he's making the water and sewer wastewater treatment plant papers. Does anybody know anything about them? Like, is anybody, we're paying him $40,000, or
He's
who's
working with them.
who's working with him? I mean, I don't even know.
yeah, should be nice.
Well, we don't know because it doesn't get discussed with us.
Yeah, Marcia?
No,
That was 40 grand?
yeah, $40,000 to do the wastewater treatment plant, papers, you know, like engineering papers.
Okay, so if we do a special meeting at 11/26 next Tuesday, right?
What time?
What time, what's a good time we wanna do?
6.
Is 6
It's good
okay
for
with
me.
everybody?
What's that?
6?
I'm not available.
Well, at all?
At all the next week?
Well, that's not good
Planning
because,
on being here because my husband has to have his eyes taken care of.
well, that's not good because I would think she has to be.
Something Melissa, we good without her?
Well, would it be possible,
If I,
would it be possible to put together a report this week about the intention of where the money's coming
I
from for
can-
the funds?
put everything for the rest of the year, figure it out. But I'm
Well, if you're not here
really
next
stuck
week,
between.
Somebody has to answer the questions during the meeting. I mean, for them to just,
well, the following week we have a meeting. The following week we have a meeting, right? So
Yes.
The following week, that's our meeting.
Yep.
Shit, we're-
Yeah, next week's a short meeting, short week.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Question whether you want to hold the bills till December.
no, we don't really want to, but.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta pay the bills.
I can't, these people did a service.
That's correct. Is it perhaps certain of the bills can be pulled?
The total shortfall you said was 108,000, 40 of which was the Gandhi bill?
No, I mean, you got, the way I'm,
I don't know if
I'm,
that's
Wasn't
even in there.
that was one of the ones you pointed to?
I don't know if that's in.
yeah, no, that's in here, cause the
Yeah.
water, the sewer is over by, the sewer one is over by 32,000.
2,720.
Yeah, so that's where it's coming from.
Okay, that's one of them, so that reduces certainly. I'm just wondering if we can
There
reduce.
in last year's budget, $688,000 that was coming from fund balance to cover the bills this year.
Okay,
And how much of that has been expended?
But that was in, that money is in there to cover your expenses. That's how you add it up.
No, it is not, when you approve budgets.
Cheryl, you have appropriations, if you have appropriations of $100, then you have three basic ways you're gonna cover those appropriations. You have revenues, you have your fund balance, and you have your taxes.
Right.
So when you put in that fund balance number in the budget, that is to make everything balance.
ABS.
Where is it sitting?
It sits in your financial statements. It is not part of your budget. If you open up your budget right now to the general fund, the one I gave you, you will see that in the last page, there is a negative, and that is what's showing on the spreadsheet that you get. That shows your appropriations, your revenues, fund balance, and what is going to be taxed.
So there was 632 at the beginning of the year. So,
But that money was made to balance the budget.
what's that?
That appropriated fund balance that went into the budget, that's how you make the thing work across the lines.
Right.
So when you go over your expenses,
Yes.
that money is, you're going into fund balance that wasn't appropriated.
So what I'm trying to
That's.
clarify,
We used to see a line that said.
was it cash, was that 632 in cash already transferred in? I know. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yes,
So the cash, that 680 something has not been transferred in.
part of it they did
Some of
last
it.
month.
Right, but how much is left in that, of that 689?
That I would have to pull it up.
You're over your expenses, so that money was
Already
put in,
spent it.
that money was put in there to cover the expenses as budgeted. So when you go over those expenses,
It's
that,
spent.
It's used,
Yes.
so
that's
it was
correct.
used.
I
It
know,
was
right?
used.
What I'm asking, all of that cash has already been transferred over?
No, it's not cash, it's fund balance.
Okay. So, we need the report before the audit. I don't mean the second, but it's up to you.
We're over our expenses by a lot of money,
And we have 2 months left.
and we have 2 months to go. And we've allocated in the 2020 budget, a lot of fund balance, and what this is gonna do is gonna take away from
What
fund
we are-
balance that
what
we
we're
are
allocating
allocating into
for
the
next year.
future, just like Cindy and I were trying to tell everybody, this is what's gonna happen.
We're just allocating what we're not gonna have. I don't know what to do. We can't do a meeting next week, we have a meeting on the 5th, we pay the bills and go
Well, you gotta pay the
go
bills.
negative, then we gotta let these lines go negative, and.
How did they go
I
negative?
mean, I think at some point, then
How do
maybe we
you
have to
pay
do some
bills?
sort of
Like if
freeze.
you only have X amount of money in your checking account, how do you pay bills?
Well, it's
over
almost like
$89?
we've gotta say no more spending for the next 2 months until we get a handle, no overtime, no spending. I mean, unless it's an emergency spend, because I don't know what we have left to spend. Well, you gotta pay your electric and telephones, but it's almost, we gotta, that's my take, but I don't know what everybody else thinks. But if you don't stop spending for the next 2 months and we get a handle on what's left, we just approved the budget that,
We don't have the money.
Well,
We don't
just-
need appropriated funds.
It
No,
just
no.
go- it just go real quicker, that's all.
well, we did have some we thought was gonna carry into 2021, but maybe not. Okay, so,
You're not gonna be meeting next week?
well, if Cheryl's not gonna be here, I don't know what good is it gonna do to have a special meeting next week if she can't explain any of this.
I mean, if she's not gonna be here next week, she has to work on this tomorrow and Friday. Can we do it Friday at 5 o'clock?
We can't notice it that.
If it's a special meeting, then we'll just have to notify.
Yeah, we can do a special meeting.
I mean, that's our only, she's not gonna be here next week
I know.
to fix
To
it
work on it
anyway.
anyway.
So she has only tomorrow and Friday to fix it.
But is that realistic, Cheryl, can you put something together?
I can put something together by
Big question is, you know where you're gonna get the money from, isn't that it?
I'm not agreeing with the statements here, so I will do the report to show you.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so, What if we do a meeting Friday? Is
But
everybody-
you're in agreement that we're over on our expenses by a lot of money,
I won't,
correct?
Yes,
but
but
you guys.
So we're over budget on our expenses.
KVS, when you do a budget in KVS, even this year,
Right, just look,
look at the last page of A.
Remember when we used to get the reports from Michelle, and she would list what she needed, and then it would just say contingency?
yeah, but we don't have that kind of juice in contingency.
But that's what, that report is the premise we're talking here, right? I mean,
The only thing that's gonna help us is if our estimated revenues, if we're getting more on our estimated revenues. If not, this appropriated fund balance is in here. You just take the summary page of the budget and go across. You have your appropriations, that's how much you're spending. You have 3 ways that you make up those to pay for those appropriations. And you're saying that this number here is not being used?
so when you set the budget up at the beginning of the year, that total dollar amount was put in that line.
It's called
And
your
you've been
planned,
paying
it's
your
called your
bills
planned
against that,
deficit.
right.
Another way to say it is your planned deficit, so that money is gone. So when you go out, you're gonna leave this budget and you're gonna go into other town coffers and take money that was not budgeted to cover this. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
Which is what Tara did when she moved it from this line to this line.
No,
That's-
well, that was in the,
But
that was
that
in the
It's in
budget.
the budget, but she moved it between
Right,
lines.
that was budgeted
Right.
money. We are gonna get into unbudgeted money
Right.
territory.
Cheryl, what did you wanna say? Well, you said a minute ago you agree with the statement. What is it that you wanna tell us?
I think it's just a miscommunication in the way I'm reading it and the way Mark's saying it. I will do the report and we'll go from there.
You want a special meeting on Friday?
Well, I can't do Friday, I'm going in
Yeah.
to get a procedure done, so.
So we'll pay the bills and we'll negative till December 5th?
Well, you gotta pay the bills.
And then we'll have to do transfers on December 5th.
After you do, Cheryl, after you do whatever, what was the intent tonight? The intent tonight, we had these shortfalls. If
And I
the,
was told by the supervisor he was not putting it on the budget or on the agenda, it would wait till December.
but there's negatives.
I
those
know
have to
that.
be paid.
And he knows that. And that's what he told me. So I am following the order of my direct supervisor. So
So if this
I can't
audit,
work for 5 people.
well,
I need
okay,
at least-
understood,
full decisions from someone.
understood. So if the audit was approved tonight, the cash was there to pay the bills?
There is cash there.
Okay.
All right,
Then the board will have to decide if they want to pay the bills tonight.
so can we, if we make a motion to pay audit 11, Cheryl, can you bring reports for, before December 5th meeting, so we can go through them and review them? I realize you're out next week, so that gives you tomorrow, Friday, and a day or two to get back that following week. Is that enough?
I will have them for you on that Monday. They will be sent to you.
All right.
Whatever before the meeting. So
All right,
if you
so
have
that's-
questions, you can reach out to me.
What do you say?
Second. Monday is the second.
All right, so if we get those on Monday the 2nd, that gives us a couple days, we can review them to see what we're gonna have
If I
to
get it done
transfer
before
on the
that,
5th.
I will send it to you.
Next,
Okay.
before you approve the audit, are there any, my question is, are there any of these vouchers, invoices that the board wants to hold until December that are not immediately due, such as the one you mentioned?
They've been gone before?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's
Do we
what
have
that's kind of what I was asking, if we're gonna pay the bill, has anybody looked at this stuff yet.
Okay, if there's been no report from whoever's supervising that project, can certainly
Like,
hold.
nobody's come
can
to the
certainly
board
hold-
and said,
Okay.
we're at this point, you know?
Okay, if there hasn't been a recommendation from anyone in charge of that particular invoice and voucher to pay it, then it can that particular one can certainly wait if the board so chooses until, and the next meeting's in the beginning of December. You could hold that one if the board so chose, or any others that weren't critical that had to be paid this evening.
What do
I
you
don't know if
think?
you know off the top of your head if there's any like that, Cheryl?
Should we hold that,
Or what do you, you know?
You hold that, we're 190 short, we'll be 150 short. If you hold that 40, I don't know if it was 40 even.
I mean, we made a contract with the guy to do this,
I know.
to do the job. And it's the
But
same.
also,
Yes.
you make a contract to do it with the guy, I mean, if he's done with it, shouldn't he make us a presentation?
Whether it's a presentation or a report from one of the
With the
town's
other person,
consultants.
don't know
should
if that
he
hasn't
make
been
us a
done.
presentation?
We didn't get it, we don't know if that's been done.
Do you remember
Just
seeing
we didn't
anything on
get
that,
it.
Cheryl? Okay, because that's, the question is whether, it may be, I can try Mike and see if the work is done. If you want. And see if I can get him on a cell
I mean,
phone.
if you're gonna go negative 190 or 150.
That's up to the board, I'm just
I
putting it
don't-
out
I
there.
don't know if it's,
Well, it's just like
I mean,
that
you're gonna
payment
pay
we
it.
owe to the village of Montgomery, I wouldn't think that has to go out this week, that's 15,000. So then that puts us up to 55.
That's up
I
to
mean,
the
you
board.
waited this long,
That's up to the board.
it's not like we have, we have to have money. I mean, if it's gotta come at,
But
if we're
it's-
over, we have to pay the bills, we
It's
have to
going to
move the money.
probably, make a difference on the audit that we, or the next year's budget that we just, approved.
We had some left for 21,
I had,
not a lot.
I don't have my cell phone.
That's
Yeah, listen,
We'll just approve the budget.
The audit. All right, so let's approve audit. I'll ask for a motion to approve audit 11 with a report coming from Cheryl on December 2nd to give us time to review so we can make the transfers on December 5th.
So we'll make that motion.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the audit, but I don't ever approve, voucher number 192, 193 to Marlin Bank. The rest of the audit is approved by me.
So, do we need someone to-
Need some-
Second?
Second. Someone want a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? So moved. Okay. So,
So, was that approved by withholding that voucher?
It's
To
already
Marlin?
paid,
Okay,
it gets paid in the
okay.
it's paid in the pre-audit.
pre-vouchers.
Okay, so tonight, option, or letter E, acceptance of retirement of Officer Shields. This letter is my official notification of retirement from the Town of Montgomery Police Department and court system. It has been my honor to serve and protect the Town of Montgomery citizens for the past 26 years. I would like to thank the board for allowing me to serve. My last day at work will be December 31st, 2018. Thank you, Sanford Shields.
I'll make the motion that we accept the notice of retirement from Officer Shields with regrets.
Yes, and thank him for seconding it, and thank him for his services.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? So moved. Okay, I think we had one new item that wasn't on the agenda. Did you want to present this tonight?
So, in reviewing, the contract for the snow removal or the maintenance of the town hall, and I believe it's the food pantry as well. The highway department used to do all of this, and we actually never really billed for it. We never billed for the snow plowing part of it. we did bill for the time as far as the lawn mowing went. And I started doing some digging, and so far this year, the landscaping company that was hired was paid $66,773. And I noticed that their agreement with the town, their contract, actually expired on the 31st of October. I think we have 2 open positions at the highway department for part-time. And I think with what I presented to you, on an estimate, it would cost about $2,200 for the rest of the year to maintain town hall, and that's only if there's storms. So if there's no storms, essentially it really doesn't cost you anything. And for next year, I think if we take back the lawn maintenance and the snow plowing, it's on the high side, you're probably looking about $13,000. I think it would save the taxpayers a substantial amount of money if the board's looking to move forward with this. I've already been reviewing applications.
Do you, I mean, we're close, it could snow tomorrow.
We can.
Can you handle it if we approve this?
And that would count the shoveling of the sidewalks? And you'll be able to get here in a timely fashion?
Yep.
Because that was one of the complaints.
Yeah, we were
He looked at it.
extremely short.
No.
Right now, I myself don't have a
I
fire
got
truck.
one. Oh.
Can I have that contract again?
There's no order over now, look at it real quick. Just let me look at it one more time.
But Tara, if you do decide to do this, could you just send MDS a letter stating that
There's no, like,
there's no renewal on the contract?
It's Gianic, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Gianic Inc.
But there's no 30-day out or anything where we have to give them 30 days?
I don't know if it goes month to month.
Length of agreement,
It just says that it ends on the 31st of October.
term shall end on 10/31. Town at its sole and exclusive discretion has the option to extend the term of the agreement for an additional year. Such a decision by the town shall be noticed to the contractor at the completion of the first term, which hasn't happened. Yeah, should probably formally notify them that if the board chooses this way to go, the board should, the clerk should notify Gianic that the contract officially will not be renewed if that's what the board decides.
$50,000 saving.
I mean, I'll make a motion to move forward for that, as long as Sean says as of tomorrow.
And you have
If it snows, you can take care
And
of
the
it.
positions are already approved, you just have to fill them.
Yep. And we do have, Billy actually comes over from water sewer to highway, so he drives one of our small mason dumps, so his
Truck
vehicle's
is
actually
available.
available outside, it has a plow and everything. We have a sander that we can put in as well.
Got the materials and everything.
Oh, yeah, we probably have about 1,500 tons of salt and shit, so we're ready to go.
So maybe by your next meeting, you can
I'll
have
have
somebody to hire.
I'll have it all ready to go next week.
Should we give them a start date though, because realistically, we can't tell them by tomorrow that Sean's gonna do this, 'cause, so.
Well, as far as that contract is concerned, it wasn't renewed as of 3/30.
I believe
know
it's
that.
expired almost.
Yeah, but we never renewed it with.
So if they show up,
Well, it's send them a letter tomorrow, give them a call and tell them the letter's coming in.
Or maybe call them and ask them if there's a fax machine and fax it and also mail it.
Yeah, or email them.
email.
Just
Right.
PDF that and email the letter. If someone needs to make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved.
That motion is to officially not renew the contract with Gianic and transfer those responsibilities back to the town.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you for this work, Sean. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our agenda for this evening. So could I need a
Oh, wait a minute.
motion?
Can we just do some minutes? We have to-
Oh, yeah.
Also, I have, one other question of the board.
Sure.
If there is not a signatory around for the checks, what happened?
How many signature, oh, ourselves. So, I don't know. How long would it take to, change it with the bank?
Just dealing with signature cards.
Is the bank local, that those checks go out?
M&T,
Okay,
they came out there, M&T.
so, I
Who
mean,
has to authorize changing those signature cards?
Board.
I'll make a motion that Cindy can be temporarily, go to the bank and sign a signature card and sign anything that's of importance from now to the first of the year,
To the 31st
to the 31st
of December.
of December. I mean, that will include vouchers and everything,
Or vouchers still have to be signed.
right?
In the absence of the supervisor, deputy supervisor, but the board can designate a temporary signatory through the end of the year if in the absence of the supervisor or deputy supervisor.
So I'll make that motion, that we make it simple.
I'll second it.
We'll see all in favor. Can I say that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Mr. Dempsey, was that a yes?
Yes, it was.
All
Okay.
opposed?
Said aye.
Okay, motion carries 3, 1 absent, 1 abstention.
Yeah.
And, we need to notify
The bank tomorrow, that's the primary operating account, right?
No, it's our accounts payable account.
Okay. Are there any other accounts that checks are drawn on, water and sewer, anything like that, are there separate accounts?
No, it all comes out of accounts payable. It's not-
through 12/31/19. Absent further action by the board.
So I guess if you have vouchers or whatever that have to be signed, then you'll have to bring them to the meeting.
Unless one of the other two show up.
Karen, do you want to do a minute? Yes, September 19th, Dan had some minor changes, just typographical errors.
Make a motion that the minutes of September 19th be accepted as amended.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So moved.
October 3rd, the special budget work session minutes. Again, Dan had a few typographical errors he found.
Make a motion that the minutes of October 3rd be accepted as amended.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So moved.
And then was able to do the next set I just sent from Monday, November 18th, 2019. He found just a few small
We had the time wrong in there for one.
Yeah,
Does anybody have a problem with doing those? I know we just got
I
them.
just got them this afternoon, so it's.
I'll make a
I
motion that
handed them.
the minutes of November the 18th be accepted as amended.
I'll second it again.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else we need to discuss this evening?
Do we need to go in executive for anything? No.
So make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?